Hello everyone, this is Robert Fanny from Beats Bass Studios, and today we are looking at a 32 track or 32 channel mix in sound. It may be a mixer or a DAW depending with what you are using. If you've paid attention on your mixers or your DAW, we have a knob called pan. Panning is what we use for this sound imaging, left and right. So it's if you want like the sound to balance in both speakers, left and right, you put it at the center. Yeah, but if you move it towards the right, your sound will, or that source will be biased to the right. And if you push it towards the left, it will be biased towards your left, this side. Yeah, so panning left, right. This is my right and this is my left. But on your perspective, it will be vice versa. So it's always important to name your tracks accordingly to avoid confusion. In my case, this is how I name. Of course, it's a 32 track mix. So in this case, we have one microphone for the kick drum. So number one, I always prefer to start with the drums because this is the main instrument. This is what carries music. This is what makes a band shine. This is what like it's an engine of the music. Everything revolves around drums. So that's why it's not good to take them for granted. Take your time, make sure they are tuned well, make sure they are mic'd properly, and also they must be very well gained to avoid distortion, because this is a very dynamic instrument, by the way, and it's not constant. At times the drummer may hit softly, at times they may hit hard. In this case, I've begun with number one, which is the kick drum, KD. Then number two, SD, which is snare drum. Got that right. Then number three, BSD, bottom snare drum. So for this case, I always use a condenser. It should be a small diaphragm microphone, because I'm only interested in the ghost notes from the snares of the snare drum. Yeah. Then HH stands for hi-hats, which I also prefer a small diaphragm microphone. HT, this is for high tom. A dynamic microphone for this case will do well. Then also same to MT, which is mid tom, FT floor tom. Then LOH, I should add here an H. LOH means left overhead. So this microphone captures more of the cymbals, but it actually captures the whole drum, but on the left side. Then you have the right overhead that does the same, but from the other direction. If you had a chance, maybe you can add the center microphone, which will capture everything, but now that it will be closer to the kick, it will be more of the kick and less of the others. So it depends on how you may want to mic. Also for the tom-toms, you may have a 7-piece perhaps. This is just a 5-piece, that's why we have 3 tom-toms. So depending on your preferences, it's you to decide. So I chose a 5-piece because we are only working with 32 channels, as you can see. And from the drums, I always come to the bass guitar in this matter. So you can have two options. Maybe you can decide to mic the combo or use a DI box. And some bass combos or bass amplifiers comes with already built-in DI box. So you just use an XLR cable to your mixer or to your recording interface. Yeah, so you can also record both. Like you record with the microphone mic'd from the bass amp, and the DI box. Then during mixing, you blend the two to suit your preference of the tone. Then we have also number 11, the lead guitar. It also can work either way. You can use a DI box or a mic from the guitar amp, or both. Then blend the two together, the two channels. So for this one, we've just used one. I'm assuming it's a mic'd guitar amp. Then we have main keys. That's the main keyboard. And from experience, the main keys person is the one that directs the band. So you may want to put there a microphone and name it MD. I've preserved a channel here, the last one, MD, for the music director. So I'm guessing this main keys guy may want to use this. Then we have auxiliary keys or second keys. Yeah. So for this one, I assumed it's just one keyboard each, but the main keys guy may want maybe 3 keyboards. That will mean you'll use more channels. And also, I'm assuming this mix accepts stereo inputs. That's why I just used one channel per keyboard. But if it's in mono, you'll have to use 2 channels for it to be in stereo. So main keys may occupy 12, 13, so that it be left, right. Then main second keys 14, 15 as you go down. But for this one, we are keeping it simple because of the number of channels. Then number 14, I've named it loop, and the loop is always controlled by either the MD or the drummer, depending on the agreement of the band. Then we have channel 15, which is percussion mic. It may be congas, maybe, and some shakers, blah blah blah. Yeah, so there are 2 microphones, left and right, because as I said, sound is stereo in its form, and in reality it's actually stereo even without speakers and amplifiers. If you hear someone talk or something or some sound from somewhere, it's naturally stereo, so it must be left, right. Okay. Then we have channel 17. If you noticed, channel 1 to 16 is just instruments. So from channel 17 is where we get the microphones. Like microphones begin from channel 17. If you had 2 stage boxes in a live sound, each 16 channels, for the instruments you may use maybe on the left side, the extreme left side of the stage, you will put it there. Then the other one, you can stage it towards the extreme right of the stage. Then use the one on the right for the vocals and the one on the left for the instruments. Yeah, 16, 16, and it will balance better. So we have number 17, soloist. This is just one microphone, but it's always good to preserve more channels for auxiliary microphones, like I have done in channel 27 and 28, because it can fail, or maybe you may want to have 2 soloists. Yeah, these auxiliary microphones can come in handy. And then from 18 to 25, there are BGVs, or background vocals. Yeah, so you may get or arrange them like soprano 2, alto 2, tenor 2, and baritone 2. So depending on the arrangement of the band, you can arrange them that way. Then of course, in any event or a gathering, we always have an MC, master of ceremony. So in this case, I've preserved channel 26 for him or her. Yeah, then I've already talked about the auxiliary microphones. Then number 29, we have playback channel for music from maybe you before the event begins. You can do playback from your computer or your phone. So like playback music, already recorded music, right? So crowd microphone is channel 30 and 32. And the reason why I'm saying if it is stereo, you put two to each side, because if you are to use one microphone here and you've panned it extreme left, it means you've left a vacuum on the right, and that vacuum must be filled with something, and it's only good or better to also pan something with same frequency or with almost the same purpose as that on the other side to balance. It's called counter panning. Yeah. So you counter pan each. If it's two guitars, left right, you counter pan. If it's two crowd microphones, left right, like that. If it's two sopranos, it's always good left right. You may want to exhaust maybe like for this case, if it were me, the kick drum, I'll always keep it at center. Same to the snare. The snare will also be at the center. Then bottom snare, same at the center. High tone, I always mix my mixes from the audience's perspective. So it's from right to left, right to left, right to left. So high tone, I mean hi-hats, they are always at the extreme right of the audience. So let's use a scale of 0 to 100. So I'll put it, if it's right, it's positive. So I'll put plus 100. Then channel 5, we have a high tone. It's also on the extreme right. So I'll put it on positive 100. Yeah. Mid-tone, you can decide to put it slightly to the left or to the right. But in my case, now that we have already something on the extreme right, I'll put it slightly into left. So it will be negative 20. Because it's middle, so you don't want to put it too far from the center. Then floor tom, of course, it's always on the extreme left, so I'll put it on negative 100. All right. Then left overhead, of course, it's extreme left, so it's minus. Minus is for left, positive is for right. Then right overhead, I'll pan it extreme right, it's positive, so positive for right. Then bass guitar, if you've listened to music keenly in your headphones or in your wherever, the bass guitar is always at the center, so I'll put it at the center. Then also the lead guitar, main keys, if it's in stereo, I'll do extreme left, extreme right, like if I was using two channels. But if it's a stereo channel, if you put at the center and you've mic'd, you've used the right cables, already the voices come panned, so it will be easier for the keys to find their own way accordingly in the spectrum. So here I'll put it, now that it's the main keyboard, I'll put it at the center. Then for the auxiliary keys, I'll put it at extreme. We can balance this, we can decide. Now that auxiliary keyboards sometimes plays the role of a lead guitar, we may want maybe to put negative 20% towards the left. Then now that we have a vacuum here, we can fill it with the lead guitar, like 20%. So I hope you are together. If you are with me, you can type in the comment section. Then the loop, we always put it at the middle because it comes already in stereo. So if I was to stereoize it again, I may be making a blunder, because mostly loops contain percussions like shakers, maybe claps, maybe finger snap. And whoever creates these loops already like they create them in mind, so it comes panned already. So if you just put it in a stereo channel, it will find its way, like the snap, the shaker, the tambourine, they will fall at the spectrum accordingly. So I always put it at the center. Then percussion mic 1, of course, it's extreme right. Mic 1 for the percussion is extreme right. Then mic 2, it's extreme left. Huku na huku. Yeah, are we together? Then soloist, of course, we cannot bargain. This is always at the center. Then we have 8 vocalists here. 8 is a good number. Now that we've mic'd them 2-2, and it's the same voice, maybe 2 sopranos, 2 altos. If you pan an alto 60% to the right, you must counterpan with another same voice alto 60% to the left. Or if you have one alto, then you should have find a way to fill that gap in the other spectrum on the left. So for this one, let's begin at 30% left. So now that it's a soprano, there are people who always sing the melody. So we can do, so that's 30%, 30%. Then for the next vocalist that may be altos, yeah, we can do, we have 30 to 100, so there's a big cap. You can pan them accordingly. We don't have to put them too close. So for this case, we can put them at 60. The other alto, of course, we counter pan, so it's positive 60 to the right. Then tenors, we do negative, let's do 80% to the left. 80% or 80. Then we have these other tenor. It's positive, so it's 80% to the right. Then for the baritone, it may be a baritone or bass, depending on what you want. You can do extreme left and extreme right. Yeah, so we are already done with background vocals. It may change if you want to do maybe from 60 to 80, or 80 to 100, or 100 to 85. It doesn't really matter. You can make your choice and do according to how you like it. So it's to the taste. Then for the MC, of course, we can just leave him at the center. Then auxiliary mics, of course, same to MC. Playback should be stereo. We cannot pan that at the center. Then crowd, mic 1, extreme left. Mic 2, extreme right. Are we together, guys? Then for this MD, we can leave him or her at the center, because this is not a mic will send the signal to the main output or even to the stream. No, this is just for the band people. Like, it's for the music director to direct them where or what to do. So we are leaving him at the center. All right. So this is it. As I said, I always name my channels accordingly so that I may not be confused. So that's how I do it. Many people name them differently, but this is my way. You don't have to do it my way. Find on your own way and make it work. So this is for the panning. In matters frequencies, we'll talk when we get to the mixer. As we said, sound is stereo. Sound is stereo. Sound is stereo, guys. Don't forget that. Sound is stereo in nature and in reality. When you are doing this, remember to mix in stereo. Maneno ya mono achie watu wale makurutu. Don't be an idiot to do everything in mono. Mono is an illusion. It's a fantasy. It's like a dream. It's not practical. Yeah, so always mix in stereo, guys. Yeah. So I've been your host, Robert Fanny from BeatsBase Studios, and you can tell us in the comment section what you want us to talk about, and if these videos are helping you, let us know. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't, by the way, and watch out for more. Thank you.